Hello and welcome back. A quarter of the 366,000 views my channel had since its inception come from the United States. American watch enthusiasts are the biggest engine of the microbrand revolution, so it's only natural there's also a plethora of microbrands established in the US of A looking to bank on this huge customer base. From Trusca to Laurier, from Brew to Monta, I have been lucky enough to handle quite a few, and I'm happy to be able to review today yet another American watch. This is Nodus Sector Sports. Established in 2017, Nodus have quickly gained a solid reputation amongst watch collectors on the back of a solid watchmaking expertise that allows them to go one step above your run-of-the-mill micros and perform assembly and quality control in their own Los Angeles facility. Not only that, they regulate all their watches, ensuring a level of precision that far exceeds the stated tolerances for the calibers powering their timepieces. These days, the core collection of the American microbrand is the Sector, with no less than 6 iterations of a design that, at first sight at least, is quite similar to Fairer, both in shape and daring colors. Of the 6 variants, the Sports 369 is the one I like the most, so when a pre-owned bargain presented itself, I literally jumped at the chance to own it. After spending a few weeks with the watch, I am now in the position to assess its strengths and weaknesses, but as I haven't dealt directly with the brand, I cannot comment on their customer care. However, the brand is quite famous for their social events, so I have no reasons to believe they are anything less than responsive and responsible. Taking the watch out of the box, the first thing that struck me was how substantial it feels. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing cumbersome or unrefined about it. It's just more masculine than its 2D appearance might let you believe, and that's a very good thing that I guess is down to the strong shoulders of the watch. The screw-down caseback is rather prominent, and together with the upper third creates the illusion of a capsule pushing through the lugs when looked at from the profile. I just love the crown of this watch. It's unique, unapologetic, and very functional. I've seen people claiming this is an homage of the iconic Rolex Explorer, but I have to say I just don't see the resemblance. Yes, it's a 369 type of dial, but that's where any comparison should stop. To begin with, this is a sector dial, where slightly oversized blocky lume-filled indices are applied on a platform that's clearly defined against the sunken central disk and a steep rehaut where minute markers have been painted. The font used for the 369 is really nice and fresh, while the hands are perfectly proportioned. One decision I find both odd and poor is to scrape the text under the pinion on the current versions of the watch, throwing the balance off. The white dialed variant is the only one that still has the old format, so if you agree with my take, that's the one to get. Finally, the H-Link bracelet is a rather unusual choice for this type of case, but it works quite well and I like the way it sits quite flat between the lugs, emphasizing that sensation of masculinity I've described earlier. The clasp might lack an on-the-fly micro-adjustment system, but it compensates by being quite thin. Sticking with the bracelet, let's start this section of the review by addressing the only flaw of the watch. Actually, for my 19cm wrist, this is not really a flaw, as you will see later, but it has to be said it's a poor execution of a concept. Take a look at this end link. It's a female end link, right? I mean, the part between the lugs, the end link, is designed in such way that will accommodate the first center link from the bracelet, allowing the bracelet to drape around the small wrist. Well, it's not. Looking at the watch from this angle, it's obvious the center link sticks out, thus increasing the lug-to-lug metric from 47mm to just over 50. But wait! Taking the bracelet off and applying some pressure, the protruding mid-link will move. So in reality, this is a female end-link, but a poorly integrated one. But this is really petty nitpicking, especially when taking into account the overall quality of Sector's fit and finish. The watch is very well put together and there's just enough high-grade polishing contrasting the satin brushing to make for a luxurious look, and I particularly like the cut of the sapphire crystal. In order to keep their prices under $500, Nodus Sector watches exclusively use Seiko and H calibers. While, as you'll see later, this choice will affect the wearing experience, the LA watchmakers go to great lengths to mitigate the impact of the not-so-great accuracy the Seiko calibers are notorious for by regulating the watch in 4 positions. As a result, this particular watch will gain an average of 6 seconds a day, which is very good for an NH38. What's also very good is the amount of anti-reflective substance applied to the underside of the sapphire crystal and the amount of grade A BGW9 superluminovalium compound evenly applied on the hands and markers of the watch. At 38mm, this watch will not appeal to the enthusiasts that enjoy large watches, especially as the long lugs will create the illusion of an even narrower footprint. That being said, I believe that on my 19cm wrist, the watch sits perfectly. Then, taking advantage of the bracelet's quick-release spring bars and its drilled lugs, moving the watch on leather, sailcloth, canvas or nylon straps will showcase its versatility. Maybe not necessarily in this dial color, but the white version might just be that fabled one watch to wear everywhere. Legibility is fantastic thanks to both the configuration of the dial and the non-existent reflections in bright light. The watch is light enough to be worn effortlessly throughout the day. It's only its height that impacts somewhat negatively the wearing experience. Should this be closer to 10mm thin, it would almost be the perfect watch. It would almost be the perfect watch, but only for an American customer. And that's not down to taste or any subjective criteria, but like most other American microbrands, Nodus will only offer free shipping for their American customers. Factoring in the cost of shipping and tax, an European customer would have to pay more than $650 for this watch, and that cannot be justified. So yeah, 25% of my viewers should definitely buy this watch. The other 75% wait for a pre-owned bargain like I did. Thank you for watching, see you soon.